Hey y'all, I have to make this video so I get a grade, because I don't want a 0. But this is like for the March Madness thing, and Sarah Carver's probably gonna murder me because the lighting is terrible. But you know, I do what I can. Okay, so I had prompt 15, which is basically about like conforming outwardly but questioning inwardly, typical stuff. So I wrote about the bell jar because, I got the tattoo. Might as well. Here it is. As well as my other Sylvia Plath stuff, as I do. But anyways, here is my essay, much awaited. Sorry. Okay. So, in The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, Plath utilizes societal pressures in the 1950s and symbols to portray the protagonist, Esther Greenwood's battle between conformity and questioning. Oh, there's a lot of dogs barking outside. Esther Greenwood is a docile, shy college girl who has to conform to society due to peer pressure from her mother, her roommates, and her collegiate sisters. She's expected to excel at the writing program she's in, as well as manage her job at a popular magazine, as well as find a husband. These societal pressures, which don't have Esther's interests in mind, lead her to have an inner conflict. The setting in the 1950s is utilized to show the unattainable and dangerous expectations set forth for women. Her job, manhunting, and schooling really do get the best of her. When she is almost raped, the internal questioning really starts. Esther is set out not to find a husband now, but to lose her virginity first, which defies the societal pressures as pureness is an issue in the 1950s. Plath also uses the symbol of a fig tree to show Esther's seemingly unattainable goals as she's unable to reach them until they've fallen and gone. The symbol of the heart and the bell jar are also used to show inner conflict versus conforming to society. In the midst of decision-making to conform outwardly, Esther feels as though she's trapped in a bell jar, which is something used to put over delicate objects, like the rose in Beauty and the Beast. This perfectly symbolizes both conforming and questioning, as she's forced to be put in a spectacle, be on display, and objectified as women were in the 1950s, but it also shows that she's trapped and cannot escape with these unrealistic and undesirable goals set out for her. With mentally ill people often treated as objects and dehumanized anyways, this also portrays that time period and Esther just not being able to escape that. The bell jar is also a somewhat personified version of her mental health that's really fragile and constantly looming. The heart and blood were also major symbols throughout the novel. While questioning her own existence, Esther often thought about killing herself, but could not due to her own heart beating or bringing, I am. She realizes while questioning her life that what she wants to end is not necessarily her life, but something deeper than the thin blue lines that marked her wrist. She questions her life deeply and thoroughly throughout the novel. Though Esther fights minimally towards society, like trying to lose her virginity before marriage, all of this comes from the overwhelming pressure to conform, which leads to her questioning gender roles, her life, and her mental health. Sylvia Plath utilizes symbols such as the bell jar, the fig tree, and the heart and blood, as well as the time period in the 1950s to portray Esther Greenwood's conflict with herself and society. Thanks.